previously with the Quellists.
I want you to describe to me exactly how it is that you kill Gauntlet.
I think Smokey would spit on the ground, and then before he fires his 2 arrows, he's like, "Suck on this, cocksucker!" And the 2 arrows just collide and smash through his eyeballs in some blinding holy light.
So, for just a moment, Mira is going to look at Luke, realizing what's going on, nod at him, and then roll and stagger to her feet, just screaming bloodlust at the top of her lungs, and cast Chain Lightning
Oh, man.
with Twin Spell.
Oh, my God.
So that's 77 to Pauldron and 102 to the mage.
Wow. Mage is gone, and Pauldron, his eyes blacker than the night around you, falls down, completely immobile, and he is dead.
Teach you to kill me.
Tyrek, you notice as you're talking to these Warforged that there is a recognition of you within them that goes beyond just your reputation and things that, like, people know the Quellists. I think I will have in canon, I have 2 separate docks here. The Telhart docks and the Bosil docks. I think in canon, you guys probably landed in the Telhart docks. Because it makes it more fun if you have to walk through the entire city to get out. So that's where I'm saying you started. So you're in the Arano district. Like I said, the city, it's I don't know if I mentioned, I'm trying to remember exactly how I described the city last time. I don't think I mentioned that it was pretty densely packed. Things are very close together. You get the idea that the city, being a port city, was fairly successful and attempted to boom, but then was essentially like stopped by the jungles. The 2 respective jungles, the Howan jungle and the Farron jungle.
Gather intel on what jungle we had to travel through to get to some military outpost that one of the Warforged was rumored to be at.
If I remember correctly, that's up north of us.
The other problem with this map is it's not quite. It's more like west. Northwest-ish, but yes, north on how the map looks currently. Let me take you guys back to the world map for comparison.
I feel like we just need one good fire, and we could take care of this city.
I'm on board with this.
That's certainly true, but I don't think there's a problem right now.
And they never will be.
So we're walking through this super dense and crowded city.
Yeah, cool. So you guys have entered the Arano district. Like I said, a few noticeable things were the amount of like Warforged casually around. It seems to be a more. I'm trying to remember how I described it last time, but basically, there's more of them. And I think I corrected myself last time that I said, "Oh, there's more of them out and about," and I was like, "That's not true anymore." But as far as like being mixing with the general populace, there's a lot more Warforged here than you would normally be used to seeing, and therefore it is notable. It's more like just you guys aren't like, I don't know. I say you guys. Tyrek's probably Tyrek and Jackal. Oh shit, Jackal's not here. Tyrek's got the most experience with Warforged, and so it's not like, I don't know, he's an observant guy, so he would know, like, okay, these things are different, but the rest of you are definitely, yeah, it's notable to you guys in that it's just, you're used to seeing some Warforged, but they're generally speaking few and far between. And they're usually like, working for someone, or they're always on like a mission to do something. They're very busy, and so they don't ever stick around. This looks like there's Warforged like literally just living life here, and I'm not trying to like single that out and be like, ha, see Warforged and they're everywhere, but just like this is just something other than like the regular diversity of halflings, elves, whatever, orcs, Goliath, lots of different races of people, and just to add that into the mix. Go ahead and everybody make make perception rolls for me, and then we'll see if you need to make investigation after that.
Does a passive 20 catch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually rolled my passive perception.
How the hell did I roll better than most of you?
Gorguts has finished his meatball sandwich and is now ready to observe. So let's see. Smokey and Gorguts. I think go ahead, you guys. Well, actually, hang on. Before I make you make any other rolls, maybe I'll describe this for Luke and Mira first. You guys are distracted by the hustle and bustle of the city. Because it's so packed, like close together, it feels very busy. Now, Smokey and Gorguts, I think you guys kind of notice, like, you're starting to take notice of, like, the fact that it is packed in buildings-wise, and there are people around, but you get this idea that maybe there's something, like, that feels off to you in that sense, like how busy things feel versus how busy they look. Now go ahead and roll investigation for me on that. Tyrek, you're noticing all these same things, but yours comes more as an instinct. Holy shit, Danny.
I don't notice shit.
Danny puts the ball in his face.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyrek, you're noticing these things also, but it's more like an instinctual thing as you're, in your life as a soldier, you're trained to like take stock of these things as you're passing through areas. So Smokey and Tyrek, the reason that there's like this discrepancy with how busy everything feels versus how busy it actually is the fact that like there's a lot of buildings and there are a lot of people, but generally speaking, the people that you're seeing are either like are really young or like a lot on the older side or like ill, infirm, handicapped, not in fighting shape. Tyrek is what you're kind of gaining from this. And that includes like the Warforged people that you're seeing as well.
Are we in Florida?
Florida, man.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we stick around and talk to some people, or should we get moving up north?
I mean, is there any information we really need from this district, or I think we already have the information we need.
Yeah, it's unlikely that there's anything we need here.
I can't think of anything that I need.
So densely packed in here, should we try to secure some of our more expensive items in some way?
Dude, I don't think you can know this, but these people are all like either gonna die or gonna die very soon. I don't think they're gonna pick us.
I don't know. I think that old man's eyeing me.
He's actually just looking at the meatball sandwich in your hand.
Mine! I hold it higher than he can reach.
Well, now everyone's going to notice your meatball sandwich, and you're going to be swarmed by
Zombies.
old men.
I don't know if I remembered to mention this last time, but I think Grant will go ahead and take the ship back now, since we can all get back via Sanctuary. If
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, and the motorcycle and Warforged body are on the ship too, so we're not just hauling those around through the town.
Cool. I like that. You're not riding a motorcycle through a packed town.
I'm guessing these Warforged citizens would be uncomfortable with us hauling a corpse around.
We go.
So, to be clear, we're not like in the slums. We're like in a retirement community. It feels like.
My assumption would be that all of the fighting fit people ran off with the mercenaries.
Also, from what I understand, there aren't really distinct slums in the city. It's kind of all the slums and all the nice parts. All the fancy places have just the sad little shithole hovels all kind of shoved in the corners around them.
Yeah, there's not really like gentrified areas so much as it's just peppered with everything.
Hey, you want to build a house? You don't need a permit. Build a house wherever you want.
Just throw one down. Hank's yanking house constructing. God, that's canon now.
How do they even keep order here?
A city like this, the disorder of it itself becomes an order.
Mhm.
The people find or force their own places within things and where they fit, and order comes by staying within the boundaries of what's acceptable for you to do. If you try to stand out, you get crushed because of the resistance to change of the city itself. That's all that the order is here. Alright, so we gang of terrifying badasses just kind of casually walk through the town. Just because I know it will mess with them and their politics in many ways, I'll just kind of smile, nod, and wave to people as we go through.
Be on the lookout for like pickpockets, and if they so dare, I'll try to push them back with the giant rolling pin I have in my hands. Okay, hey, stay back.
I feel like anyone who would attempt to pickpocket this party is gutsy enough that we might want to try to recruit them.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I might do my best just to listen to passing conversations. I'm not really looking for anything particular, but I think I'd be interested in just kind of moving with the city as opposed to moving against it.
Okay, I like that. Okay, roll. Let's see. Roll another perception check. Do you get hearing based?
I feel like Luke's kind of well aware of what the party's doing, but at the same time, he's kind of like the soldiers from like Band of Brothers, kind of handing out food rations to people as he sees them.
Nice.
Okay, well, let's see. Smokey, let's see. You're like specifically focusing on like chatter, right? So I think what you're hearing is like you're definitely hearing like a lot of people moaning about the fact that a lot of the mercenaries just recently returned. And I say moaning about it because it's literally like, oh great, you know, you're getting the idea that maybe there's something of a food shortage going on, and so now they're like, well, now the main bulk of the military is back. How are we gonna feed ourselves? Gorguts and Mira, because it's just so spectacularly terrible. But it's funny because like Mira's got an addition to this and Gorguts doesn't, so I don't know who is actually like doing better in this case. I'm thinking probably.
Well, Gorguts didn't roll a nat 1.
Yeah. So let's see. You guys pick up an interesting conversation between like these old ladies sewing out in front of their houses like people do, totally do in real life. It definitely happens. And they're talking about, I had a thing I was specifically going to talk about. Oh yeah, they're talking about, okay, shit, I just came back to me. They're like, hey, did you get a good look at those at the bears who came through here? And they're like, what, the bears? There's no bears. Yeah, there's bears. There's bears that can talk. There's bears that can walk. There ain't no bears. There ain't no bears. I never see no bears. And that's the conversation you hear. Tyrick, as you know, as passively listening as a soldier does, you hear people talking about the commissar, which was the name I didn't give out to you guys last time because I couldn't remember the title that I had for it. Yes, the commissar is the title of the person who runs the Fearhound Academy. And they're talking about I say they, you just like catch snippets here and there about people wondering what the commissar is going to be doing next now that the main bulk of the military is back, and maybe this time he'll get things into gear and help the city out a little bit more. And Luke, as you're going through this city, you are noticing a couple of things. There's definitely a lot of poverty, a lot of poor people, a lot of people who are not doing great for themselves and really struggling to make ends meet, it looks like. There's also a fair amount of people who are doing very well for themselves and kind of like flaunting it. And the thing that you're noticing, though, is that there is a suspicious lack of houseless people and children.
So there's people that are house poor, what you're saying. So they own a home, but they can't afford to like be living in it.
Or they have a domicile to return to. There are people who have homes, whether they're cramped in there or not. That's one thing, but there's not a lot of transients. I don't know if that's the right word for what I'm thinking of, but
is that really suspicious with so many houses?
Just given the level of poverty, you would expect to see more of it. The population density, is big enough here that even with as many houses as there are, I mean, like you think about Detroit has a bunch of houses that are all abandoned, but you still have homeless people. Now, I don't mean children. I'm trying to think. Orphans. That's really the term I'm going for. Is there anything you want to do with that information?
I mean, I'm wondering like how odd that would stand out to me. Like what would I ask the people as I'm walking through, like handing these food rations out? Like, I don't really know what I would ask. Like, it would strike me as weird, but I don't really know what I would do with that information.
Yeah. I guess I could put it this way, because I think I described Cloudhenge as being sort of similar back with the False Hydra. Like, you guys returned from Kystra, and there was just no like people, because at that point, like, you had begun like enriching the city, but you hadn't quite gotten around to like doing hitting all the checklists, right? And so you still, you're still dealing with a certain level of poverty in Cloudhenge. But when you guys came back from the False Hydra, there was like this suspicious emptiness in the city. This is like a notable emptiness, but it's not suspicious in the way that is like something's like bad or this doesn't feel like the False Hydra. I'll put it that way, in case I'm like striking fear into your heart right now.
Yeah, now I'm just waiting for a False Hydra.
Having failed to perceive it.
Would you say it's more that the city is destitute than decimated?
Yes. And you guys are heading northeast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you come to the unless you guys want to like stop and talk to anyone, you get to the Telhart River crossing. We'll just say right about and you are you can see it kind of coming up in the distance. There's a couple people like on the bridge walking across, or they have a cart or whatever. And Tyrick, with your 20 passive, you definitely note the like group of people kind of surrounding the edges of the bridge, standing a little suspect. They're hella sus.
Well, I'm gonna keep walking because that's what we do. It's like, well, these guys are looking to cause trouble for us up on the bridge. You probably noticed. What do you think? Shall we let them, or shall we warn them of how terribly bad an idea that is?
Oh, please let me bonk them off the bridge.
Bonk.
I'm not worried about it.
Yep, you continue walking, and I mean, literally like clockwork. You get to a certain point, and these people come from both sides of the bridge, and they sort of stand in this loose formation in front of you, and they're all like, yes, it requires, we require safety, safety toll.
Oh, it's gonna
Or
cost
just
us
stick
maybe.
with us
So-
and then you'll be all right. I pat one on the head
It's
with
gonna
my
cost us maybe
giant rolling
rules.
pin.
The man speaking is a strange kind of he's an elvish man, maybe half elf. It's hard to tell. It's definitely bigger than the standard elf. Yes, 14 gold pieces to cross. 70 if you have cart. Do you have cart? Are you front runners for cart?
I know there's no honest work left, but have you really fallen so far that you're holding up people like highwaymen?
The highway is to the east.
Don't
Friend,
be
you are far from highway.
Does a 23 make a successful bonk?
Oh, we're just going right in, huh?
Well, I am.
Are you hitting the guy who's talking or somebody
It's
else?
non-lethal. It's a bonk.
If you don't mind hitting somebody else, I'll just kind of lead him to the side and keep talking to him while you beat everybody else down.
I'm rolling for damage then. Oh wait, was that the damage?
Yeah,
Or was that the hit?
Click
That-
on giant rolling pin again.
Oh,
Let's
I
just
click
say
on
you
this
hit him
one.
twice.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I did
you
extra
definitely
attack.
hit this guy twice.
Yeah,
Absolutely, you did.
and I just want to bonk him off the bridge, and then just continue walking
Jesus.
because no one tells Gorguts what to pay for whatever. You smalls.
You hear his skull crunch under your
Oh,
rolling pin,
Jesus.
and he goes like literally flying over the retaining wall and down into the river.
You'll have to forgive my cook. He's very enthusiastic and a little impatient to go set up his cooking pots.
He just killed Marty! I saw his head split in half!
Yes,
That's a good voice right
you
there.
did.
That's a good
This
voice
is
right there.
outrageous!
I'm very sorry that happened. We can, of course, pay Weirgild to his family if they're still here. Please let us through.
Gentlemen, please forgive us. We're in a hurry. We need to get where we're going. Nothing good will come of fighting here. There's no need to do this. We
I acknowledge.
just,
could pay
just
you.
let us go by, please.
That's the principle.
It's
Get in
the
my way again.
principle. It's the
Wings the
principle.
giant rolling pin.
By the way, I hope your friend can swim while he's unconscious there in the river.
Pretty sure he's dead.
Dice are not being kind.
Because most, level 1 commoner has like 4 hit points, I think.
Seeing no diplomatic situation, Smokey just smoked.
I doubt a 15 persuasion is enough to talk our way out of killing a man.
I have to make a map now.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, I was gonna say, is this the fastest Cook has been in terms of visiting a new country and immediately murdering someone?
So wait, did this guy die or not?
I think he's making a battle map, so I'm pretty sure we initiated some bad juju.
Ah,
This dude is like,
Gorguts deliberately doing a non-lethal strike, or did he not give a damn?
What's the big deal? It's just murder.
What does this party come to in a matter of 5 minutes?
Actually, he's just down, right? Or
That's what I'm wondering. Do I need to heal this guy, or are we?
he flew up and over the retaining wall into the water below.
I'm gonna hit him with healing word. It can reach.
Okay, I was gonna hit him with Revify if he was dead.
If he's alive.
I'm
Like, is this guy
good.
just straight dead?
Yes, he's straight dead, given the amount of damage done to him, and that he's probably a level 1 commoner
Yeah, in that case, never
who
mind.
have like no hit points.
Straight up to the dead.
He'll
Well-
be revived and drown in the river.
But that's a touch spell. Did you jump in?
Yeah, sure.
Cleric overboard.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Okay, wait, hang on. I need you to do like looking. Shit, looking down at the river. It's rushing pretty damn fast.
Oh,
Never mind then.
nobody told me this information.
I'm telling you this like pre you jumping in. Luke is smart enough to understand water like hydromechanics.
Do I have any of my significant representatives up in this area right now? I can't remember.
I know I don't.
Hopefully it wasn't the guy who got bonked off the bridge.
If this river's rushing, then it doesn't even much matter if that was non-lethal and he was just unconscious. 'cause
Pretty much, yeah. That's kind of where I was thinking.
So Tyrek, you're like, yeah, please excuse my colleague, and this dude is just like unleashing a veritable flurry of profanity and like just all kinds of like you're hearing some combinations of words that you didn't even know were possible.
My God. I didn't know you could. I am offended, sir. I am a reptile? I can't do that.
Law of the jungle, Tyrek. Law of the jungle.
You go back and you eat people all day with your lizard friends.
I'm not that kind of lizard man. I'm the kind that breathes fire all over everyone and then eats them. Well, I don't breathe fire. I spit acid. I also don't eat people.
That sounds like something a lizard man would want me to believe.
You mean the ones who took over the government and live at the center of the earth?
Oh, Jesus.
I hope Tyrek will remember this.
Alright, he's definitely gonna remember this.
All right, new deal. 150 gold for the inconvenience to me and my people. Do I have to?
Is this dude seriously still asking for gold after that?
Can I just like walk up, just lift him off his feet, and just throw him in the river?
Oh my God.
That's a thing I could do, right?
Wait.
Whoa.
There's no need for further violence from either party.
But
I'm sure there'll be plenty of violence shortly. Not here.
fine, I'll just roll to intimidate by picking him up or something. Just
What's
like,
the city's name again?
Faranos.
I have a proposition for you instead of paying you directly like that.
Oh my God.
How about we set up a agreement in which we can continue to pay you? Rather than-
He's looking at you like, what the fuck do you want about?
Rather than paying you to cross this bridge one time, what if I set up so that we would continue to pay you and that you could guarantee better and more consistent pay from everyone that passes through?
Yeah, like a fast pass sort of situation.
So,
are we
just so I understand this correctly, what are you suggesting to him?
Oh, I'm totally gonna write out a contract and just declare that the Dragon Bridge Company owns all of the bridges in the town, and like hire him and some of the other crews that the gangs that run the bridges, and like set up a little corporation that runs the bridges, but make them actually take care of them and make them nice and like give them
Yes.
legit jobs. and then make them lower how much they charge everybody. Have it like consistent fees off of everything, but just it's clean and consistent. And here you go,
Bridge Mafia.
because I am a mob boss. Apparently,
Making more money is always good. So you can tell he's starting to come around to the idea, and then there's like this one guy in the back is like, hey, shit, I don't have a name for him. Hey, Frenchie, you sure that's a good idea? I don't think Lords will like that. Lords can go fuck himself.
yeah.
All right, Dragon. We do this. I don't think you should do that. I think it's probably not a good idea. Hey guys, I think this is a bad fucking idea.
Hey, at the least, listen to what I have to offer. If you decide it's not for you, you're welcome to walk away. Though be aware that if you do so, you will not have the option of being part of this deal at any point further in the future. Basically, because the initial crew, the initial people will have a special position within this. And so, if you say no now, you can't come back in later and try to claim that for yourself.
I'll pass the word. Okay, yeah, he talks everyone down. You guys spend a minute like writing Tyrick pulls out his like little fold out desk. It just sits down and writes writes a contract.
Yep. Something like, I'm not gonna write the whole thing out. It's like and talk and explain a bit about keeping the bridges clean and organized, building actual like gate towers at the ends, and essentially just a small yearly fee as the technical head of the company. I have supervisory over you, but I'm basically never going to be here so long as things are run smoothly. It's yours to do with as you please, as long as you behave professionally.
Okay. All right, yeah. So you guys spend a few minutes doing that. He looks it over. He signs by just like drawing a line through the box, and then I think 5 of his 8 guys also sign, and then the other 3 go away.
Cool. And I will get in touch, relay through Jackal to Gregory that we need to get somebody out here who understands business and construction to help these dudes as quick as possible so that this doesn't all just tank.
Okay, you cross the bridge safely. Despite Gorguts literally murdering a guy.
I like to think we crossed the bridge safely because Gorguts murdered a guy.
Sure.
Beyond
Yeah.
that, we crossed my bridge safely because Gorguts murdered a guy.
Perspective. That's how we do business in the Quellists.
Oh, Jesus. All right, you get into the Furic district, which is very much the same as the Irano district. Lots of rags, lots of riches, not a lot of transients, or none, in fact. There's not just like children running around freely, not a lot of fighting shape people. Maybe a few, like, kind of like these bandit dudes that you kind of just ran into. They're few and far between, and you get the impression that they probably like, you're not 100% on what the Farron Fear's like recruiting standards are, but you don't know if they conscript, then these guys have dodged. If it's volunteer only, then these guys have not done. And you pass mostly unhindered through the Furic district until you get to the northeast edge, where it opens up, and you're literally, there is this big, long, giant path that cuts directly through the Howan jungle and the Farron jungle. It separates the two.
Did you send Jackal a copy of the contract?
Mm-hmm.
Are you setting up camp here at the just before you get on the road, or?
I don't know. What time is it?
I'm trying to remember what time you guys got into dock at, but I want to say it was like late afternoon, maybe early evening. So at this point, it would be getting dark.
Maybe we should set up camp, make sure no one's following us from our, introductions we made today.
Ooh, roll perception. Actually, I'm sorry. Roll investigation.
December, everybody.
Just Smokey if he's like actively looking.
If we're making camp, I'll take first watch.
Smokey, you count like 30 people that all look suspicious, that look like they're watching you.
Okay, so you guys have probably seen this already if I noticed that with a 3 investigation.
Tyrek, you notice that a lot of people are looking at you, but you're gauging that it's mostly just because you're new in town and you're kidded.
So would I still be rolling investigation or perception if he kind of already pointed that out?
Only if you want to look at this point. I was just having Smokey do it initially because he like specifically called it out, and Tyrek's just got a really high passive investigation.
Yeah, there's many things wrong with Tyrek's brain. One of them lets him notice things more effectively when he's not actively looking for them.
Yeah, Luke, you're like,
you don't even need to say anything.
Yeah, you're keeping an eye out. Also, I'll just say that much. You got your eyes peeled. You sure do. You ain't looking at anything, but you got your eyes peeled. Okay, so are you setting up camp, or are you gonna try to like find an inn? Because that could be fun.
Well, have we looked the
Or
time up? Bob?
camping in the jungle.
I mean, except for all the other people staring at us, there's not a lot of difference between the two anymore. I guess.
How far is it to where we're going?
It's a trek. It's not super close. It's like up the mountains. Because there's like a mountain range here. I'll go back to the world map.
So not a distance that's reasonable to try to go there and then rest.
No, I would think.
Oh yeah, that's far.
Yeah, I would think that you guys got probably at least a day's trek just to get there. And you honestly, even asking around, like if you had it all, like how do we get to the Fearhound Academy? People would say like, oh, it's a day's hike up in the mountains.
We just need to get a cart that Tyrek can pull because he doesn't need to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking Tyrek to pull a cart and not the ogre here.
Well, the ogre needs to sleep.
I'm working on like a multi-hacked version of Tensor's floating disk. I'll just put everybody on the disc. That's not true. I'm not working on that, but maybe I should.
I'm sorry. The image of Tyrek pulling a cart all by himself is freaking hilarious.
Tyrek floating bunkhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I think an inn is probably the better option, but I don't have a lot of money.
Let's go camping.
I've got our magic our magic dome that protects us from like exterior spells
Oh, I
and
forgot about that.
other magics. The only thing that we're really missing is a convenient way to carry like beds along with us. Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
I'd say let's just continue on a bit and camp in the jungle.
But still be on the road, or are we just like little off the road?
Probably a little ways off the road.
Probably depends on how dense the jungle is. Are there flat spots off the road that aren't full of tree?
Yeah, there's a couple different like clearings. You're able to find a couple spots pretty easy. Well, and go ahead and roll a survival check, everybody. Just for the sake of it. Nice, everyone's coming through on this one. It's like, yeah, you guys find a couple different like prime camping spots pretty quick. Let's see. Gorguts, you find what looks like a super good camping spot that like it's got like a small clear pond nearby, like you can get like some nice fresh water, and it's being fed from like a small spring, so you know it's got to be clean water mostly. Not that that's always true, please don't just go drinking puddles of water on the ground. There's also like it's got a fair amount of clearing, but also just enough trees to kind of like give you guys some, I don't want to say necessarily privacy, but you know, just a little extra, affords you a little extra protection, stuff like that. Now you're like looking at it and you're like, oh hell yeah, like I'm gonna, you know, if you guys like say you just split up and you're like, we'll meet back here in 20 minutes or whatever, you're like, hell yeah, I got the perfect spot. You notice, actually go ahead and roll investigation for me since you're here. Just Gorguts.
It did not disappoint.
Yes, you know. Oh my god. Okay, so you notice.
I had a +5 in this. How did the +3 in survival have a better roll?
You've been looking at all of this stuff here, and you're just like, hell yeah, this is prime. Tyrek's gonna be so proud of me, and I can finally like tell Luke to suck it. And you're just like, this, I don't know. It's for the story. You're just like, yes, this is great. This is awesome. And you start to go, and you're like, what the hell was that? And you're looking, and you're like 99% sure that you've just seen like Tarask tracks.
There's a Tarask in the jungle.
It's time.
And
boy, that's one big talking bear.
And the longer that you look at it, you're looking and you're realizing that this like the shape of this spot in the jungle here is it looks like the outline of a very large creature that maybe flattened a bunch of trees probably like a year ago or so. The spot where the spring has sprung up is a spot where potentially a giant plate may have gone into the ground and punctured something to at least usher water this way. The clearing is very large, and it cleared out in some very specific ways. So there's also like there's more trees knocked down going off in a certain direction, but those are beginning to be overgrown. With your 6 investigation, you're certain that there is a Tarask living here. The rest of you
So he
also
pointed this out to us or not?
He will tell you this when you all get back together. The rest of you also find suitable arrangements for camping spots. Literally all you have to do is pick one. I'm not going to bother like describing anything. I just need Gorguts rolled so good and then he rolled so bad, so
Is this a jungle technically a forest, or do they discern that in you?
yes.
I believe at least this edition they're the same thing,
Oh,
which is good because that's the kind of unnecessary bloat they should cut. I'm sorry. Forest, jungle, taiga, temperate rainforest. These are all different types of thing.
Tyrek, big talking bear tracks. Ah,
Oh, really?
get to the airship.
I think as
Oh.
soon as Gorguts is talking about Tarask footprints, I just like and walk over to see what he's talking about.
See what's there. What do we have?
Okay, so Gorgas, do you take them back to that spot?
Oh, I just like point it out like it's the prettiest girl at the ball. This has made my day. I'm terrified and excited. I just want to track it down and kill it and cook it up.
Oh man. Okay, Smokey, roll. I want you to roll survival and investigation. I want you to do them both with advantage.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks, roll 20.
Okay. Smokey, you're seeing a lot of the same things that Gorguts was pointing out, and you see them before he points them out. Therefore, like, you know that you were unaffected by like a bias of like being told the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I'm pretty sure it's a big talking bear. And eventually you find out that he means Tarask. And before you figure out that he means Tarask, you're looking at this and you're like, oh, guys, this is definitely a Tarask.
It's just like the old ladies we're talking about.
It's right there looking at you.
Luke, with your 10 investigation, something's not right about what Smokey and Gorguts are both on about with this whole Tarask thing. But you're having a hard time putting your finger on it. Tyrek, I'm gonna say you're not as familiar. Even though I know like you've got a pretty decent passive investigation at 16, you said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of say the same thing, just in that, like, does Tyrek have a lot of time in like forests and jungles, like tree areas?
Can you roll a nature check?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Backstory time.
Yeah,
Safari guy.
Let's
type.
do that. Roll a nature check for me. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, let's see here. Nature.
Jesus Christ!
Never seen a tree before.
Jesus.
You've spent some time in there, and you've definitely heard tales of Tarask. I don't know if you've ever seen one yourself. And everything that they're pointing out to you, you're like, yeah, that looks like that could be what that is. All right, Mira, let's bring this in. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, good. You're seeing all the same things, same as Smokey. You're kind of noticing these things before anyone talks about it. Holy shit! Are we about to fight a Tarask, you guys? Am I willing a Tarask into existence right now? Okay, I will say, Luke, with your 16 nature, and Mira with your 16 nature, Mira, you're kind of almost in the same boat as Tyrek or Smokey or Gorguts, in that you're like, I could believe that. Sure, that sounds plausible. And then you're like, you take a minute to like stop and kind of breathe in. And like breathe in the nature around you, and you're like, well, that doesn't feel like it fits. That's kind of the feeling you walk away with.
I say we lure it back to the city and we just let things
let nature run its course.
Yes.
This is the rule of nature.
Law of the jungle.
Okay, so now here's the money question. Where are you guys going to set up camp?
In the nest.
Well, I think this location that Gorguts found is fantastic.
We're just basically right outside of the city, right?
Yeah, right outside is probably not like the best way of putting it, but definitely like within you can see the edge of the city if you like walk out into the middle of the road and like look down that way.
Yeah,
But
I feel
the
like
jungle
if
is
there
very
were,
thick.
I feel like if there were a Tarask this close to the city, somebody would have said something.
So if you guys really want to take things to the next level, we could put the layman's tiny hut like in the middle of the lake.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I actually love that idea.
Let's see.
I fucking love you guys so much.
Yeah, here we go. A 10-foot radius immobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if you leave its area. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. Spell fails if its area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast the spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but it is transparent from the inside. So I'm thinking we cast it and just let it sink into the lake, and we've got ourselves a nice little underwater habitation.
Is Gorguts a medium creature?
Yes, everything's
Okay.
medium creatures in 5th edition.
Except for goblins.
Oh, right. They don't count.
I think
love
that's
it.
a good idea. But would we have to pump the water out of it?
It's like a Quillist aquarium. I love it. Let's do it.
Oh, dang it. I didn't learn the water walking ritual yet. Because I could have
I
done
know.
that.
I just looked on my spells to see if I kept it in there, but I took it out a while ago.
I've been working through and getting all of the rituals, and I haven't gone through and done another pay all of my money to buy a chunk of rituals in a bit.
When the spell ends, will we just wake up, start drowning or something like that?
I mean, I can have water breathing if it happens.
What's the duration on it?
8 hours.
That's long enough.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll take first watch just because I want to see if there's any fish in this big pool.
But how are we getting back out?
Swimming.
Hey, so make sure to take a mental note that around like a 45-minute mark to not listen to my recap because I just sneezed directly into my microphone.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I
don't
mean, I'll
forget
see it on the
Dunbar.
levels before I ever get there, but it's an hour and 20 some odd minutes on my audio anyway. Cool. Okay, well then, so you guys are setting up your your water.
So my only concern is getting back out of the lake and full lake.
Yeah, maybe it should wait till one of us has water walking. Just so that we don't have
We're the Quellists. We don't give up this easy.
to...
Roll another. Everyone who's concerned about the getting out part, roll another survival check.
What
and
about
a-
freedom
and a
of
nature
movement?
check.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Gorguts is just excited and happy, but I'll roll it.
Then you said a nature check?
Yeah, to go alongside that.
Does this have anything to do with the forest, or is this just referring to the water?
With the forest and the water.
Well,
What the hell? Online dice are weird.
Holy shit. Okay, you guys all, if you're concerned about how to get out, Mira, since it's your concern, you are like, you bring that up and you're like, if only we could, hollow out one of these trees. And then Smokey's like, well, that tree right there is already hollow. And you guys are like able to essentially construct what is a moon pool entrance through
Nice.
via a tree trunk.
Oh, nice.
If you would like to sleep in the water.
I think when you say moon pool entrance, what you mean is big ass straw.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
You literally just have to chop a giant tree trunk down. That's it's not super heavy because it's pretty much hollowed out, and
Got an ogre for that.
Yeah, Gorgux.
I take out my giant meat cleaver and just start
Tree's
cutting.
That's awesome. Haha, the Quellists. Impractical solutions for every problem.
I love it so much.
I mean, in Gorgut's own mindset, that was the practical way to cross the bridge, but okay.
Simple, straightforward. I need to cross. They're in my way. They're not in my way.
Can't give you money when you're dead.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys like all you make yourselves at home in this underwater dome, which is such a badass thing. And you settle in for sleep. Tyrek, I'm guessing you're just kind of working on your memory stuff. Memory work. So go ahead and roll, Tyrek. Roll. I know you've got your passive perception. Go ahead and roll an active perception roll for me, and we will just kind of see how that goes. Okay, definitely with a 15. The sounds of like the lake around you are, I don't know, like I want to say it's like actually kind of not loud, but there's definitely more noise here underwater than there would be like out and about, and I think it's just mostly because water tends to transmit sound a lot more easily.
Okay.
You do start to notice that something feels a little weird. Something starts to feel off, and most of that is your passive perception. Like you're picking up on something. You made that joke earlier about how you notice things better when you're not actively looking for them. And so like you're noticing that something sort of changes in the sound out in the water outside. But the biggest thing is you start to feel like you're being watched.
Interesting.
This thing is opaque when viewed from outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's like privacy glass.
Yep.
We found the aboleth puddle.
Okay. Oh. Well, let's see. I'm going to turn the dome to full transparency, such as it is far side of it. Kind of start walking along the edges, trying to get a feel for where I'm feeling stuff from, if there's any specific direction to it, or if it even feels like it's an actually local kind of being watched, or if it's more of a distant watching.
Where's that?
Oh, that's true. I do have an owl in my pocket.
A pocket owl.
Let's see. I suppose I could send him out. That would be weird because he's an owl, but at the same time he's not. He's a spirit creature.
If you
Does a
recast the
spirit?
spell, you can turn him into a fish.
True. It takes a while. Does a spirit bound into the shape of an animal that doesn't live underwater drowned if it goes underwater?
I don't know if it would drown, but I do think it would have some trouble getting around.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's not that expensive. Yeah, I'll take some time, and I'll convert my owl, my familiar, into an octopus, and let it kind of slide out of the zone, and then I'll take over, watching through it to see like if I can find anything closer out there.
Okay. Yeah, so you're like looking through the eyes of this octopus spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so now go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Okay. You spend a while looking through the eyes of this octopus. And just when you're sure that maybe just what you're feeling, it could just be some form of paranoia. You take one last look, and on that last look, you see something that you hadn't quite noticed before, and it looks like a statue. But then you notice two blazing purple pinpricks of light, and just when you notice that, there is a blast of sound that wakes everybody up. How much damage can this tent take?
That's a good question. Here, let me just see if it lists anything for it. It doesn't. Oh wait, do I have it on? Oh, I don't have it on my character sheet. Here, let me send you the whole thing for the stat block for it in the Quellists. Okay. It says beyond that it's a 3rd level evocation. There's not really spells and other magical effects can't be cast through it. There's nothing in its description about casting spells at it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, for the sake
we're
of
awake
this,
now.
for the sake of this moment, you're all awoken by a terrible noise that disorients you, it deafens you, and effectively blinds you. And then you are overcome by this sensation of cold water slamming you all together and slamming against your bodies as the underwater tent collapses around you. And it has been destroyed.
My paper!
No!
Oh, thank you for keeping that radar ping quiet. Sonar, excuse me.
I meant to give a warning before I clicked it, and then I got so excited I just clicked it. So, you are all underwater. Basically, what happened was your little bubble popped, and water rushed in to smack you guys all around.
Now we're at the bottom.
And now you're at the bottom of the lake.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Is it initiative or?
No. No. As you attempt to get your bearings, because everyone is deaf.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, Aaron has it. Nice.
Let's
Look,
just live down here for the rest of the time.
yeah. Ignore that sound. No worries.
I'm playing. This music is far too happy for what just happened.
I'm going to use message and ask Eric what the heck happened.
And I turn and try to talk, and I can't talk underwater. Oh, I use prestidigitation and just kind of start forming words to read in the air next to me real quick.
Just one letter at a time.
Blob.
I believe it can make up to a 5-foot cube. Oh no, 1 cubic foot. So I could put a pretty good amount of text in there.
Yeah.
Well, War Master's underwater over there. He broke the bubble. He hurt us. We're drowning. Maybe. Probably not, because it's us. What's the range on that? Only 10 feet. Okay. All right. Does he appear to be moving at all, or is he still just standing over there?
It's notable that you no longer see him, as your octopus is what saw him, and your octopus died.
Okay.
And while you can stand and look in the general direction, it is very dark down here. Using the octopus, I know you have like special vision, but I think after that, I have my special eyes.
It's probably full of
It's
dirt,
dirt,
and so-
especially after that sound.
Yeah. And demon magic eyes don't let you see through. Well, not these demon magic eyes. There's probably one that does. Okay.
Does tremor sense work through water? Not that I have.
If I get.
Oh my. Okay.
I guess try to walk up the side. How steep is the embankment of this lake?
I mean, no, it's fine. You can walk. You just have to. I think you guys wanted to go out into the middle of the lake, though, right?
We were pretty far out. Did just to confirm, Smokey did cast water breathing on everybody, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I clicked the information.
Yeah, it's on there.
There we go. There's the actual cast.
Well, that's elemental weapon.
Well, no, actually.
Oh, I meant. Yeah, that one.
My elemental weapon is the element of air.
It's just my elemental.
My
drum.
weapon is my lungs.
Oh man, didn't realize I should have been a descended from an air dragon. Just... There you go.
Anybody want a spa?
Can't decide if I feel like we should go forward through the water to try to find him, or if we should burst up out of the water all pissed off and looking for a fight.
Do we actually know he's under the water, or is he just around us somewhere?
He was. I'm not sure if he still is, because none of us can see down here.
Wait, did he know we were coming after him?
Kinda. And aside from us having messed with the other Warforged, the other War Masters, end of last session when we were in town, Tarek was talking to some of the trying to live like normal residents, Warforged, and asking about him. And you're like, well, when you see this guy, let him know that I'd like to talk with him.
So we all want to stay in the water, right? So the plan's not to get out of it as quickly as possible.
That's kind of what I was asking, is like, do we want to stay down here, or do we want to get up out of the water and look for him up above? That guy looks like he stays in the water a lot.
Because if anyone wants to get out, unless this big pool is like crazy huge, I do have a way of at least transporting one of us out of here real quick.
I mean,
I feel
I
like
don't want to be.
it's like fighting an alligator in water. Like, why would we stay in the water?
Yeah, I don't want to be meta, but he's got webs on his hands, so
Yep.
just get him out of the water.
Okay, so then the question is, do we just want to go to the shore, or do we want to go up in the sky?
We have the option to go in the sky?
I have fly as a spell and can take 2 other people with me. Or rather, I can grant 2 other people the ability to fly as well.
I also have fly.
But if we
Unless
leave
someone would
water,
rather
we
be
get a
on
toll
the
back.
jungle floor, I do have a quick way of transporting only one person, though.
Yeah, it doesn't... technically, flying is like swimming, right? We could use the fly speed to move through the water faster. No, I won't even try that bullshit.
I mean, if we have a reason to bait him out of the water, I don't see why we wouldn't try to get him completely away from the lake. Like,
Yeah,
I-
I'd say, yeah, get him out of the water.
I'm assuming this is some freaking water bending shit. Like, let's get him out away from the water.
Yeah.
Have a plan for that?
Well, I'll start making my way to the shoreline then.
Heading out of the pool.
Okay. Yeah, let's all just head up to shore. I'll just kind of keep flashing messages through prestidigitation as we go. Hey, you're a dick, but if you still want to talk, come on up and talk to us on or near the shore.
I thought this was supposed to be the peaceful one.
It's like Spider-Man fighting in, what is it? What's the Family Guy where he's like in Omaha in the 1 6-story building?
Hey, just because he's the peaceful one doesn't mean he's not going to be untrusting of us, given our actions in relation to like the entirety of his family.
So you guys said you're heading out of the water?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Interesting choice.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you start heading for the shore. I'm guessing Tyre hasn't cast fly, so
No.
you just
not
kind of
yet.
swim walking sort of towards the shoreline.
Iron boots go.
There is another sound. This one is not it's not like the last one. It doesn't blast you. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't like you hear it, but it almost sounds as though you are actually getting the echo of that off of a different surface, if that makes sense.
Ooh. Okay, I feel like this definitely would need to be an active one. Can I try... Do you think I can determine the origin of the initial ping?
The initial one?
Uh-huh. The one that we're hearing that echo from?
With the 17 perception, you can definitely tell it was coming from, like, the east. of you.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll a nature check in tandem with that.
I didn't choose a stat for Luke casts an enhance ability on Tyrek. Is that correct?
And I think you have guidance as well from.
Yeah. Okay, so I think given where we are currently and what we're doing, I would have gone with wisdom.
Of course.
So,
Okay.
well, I
So
got that.
with
well.
that, it's pretty easy to tell that the sound is now echoing back from you. It's like it's very far away now.
Interesting.
And in fact, it's not just that. It's farther away than you believe that lake is actually like wide.
Okay.
And you get the impression that it had echoed off of a few different surfaces.
Gotcha.
And in like understanding that, you're thinking that maybe there's some kind of underwater caverns in this lake.
A highly relevant question. Would you say it sounds like it's coming from more than 500 feet away?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to quickly convey to them that the sound appears to be retreating and also kind of like it's calling at us a little. Like, hey, I'm over here.
Do you want
So-
us to follow it?
Yes, I think we should.
Alright. How long does this water breathing last?
A long time. 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no
we're fine.
worries.
Man, we don't have like any useful light, do we?
No, and it is pitch black right now.
Sweet. Because I can always see in the dark, I didn't buy. In the dark, I didn't buy an ever-burning torch because he doesn't need one. Until now.
Do you want me to cast light?
Yeah, go ahead and do that because I was going to, but I have to concentrate.
You can do such a thing?
I do the thing on my giant rolling pin that now emits light.
Nice.
You are now a giant billboard sign for all hungry fish.
Hooray!
I didn't
A
use
thirst.
that.
Sorry. I'm not using that.
Mira is a hungry fish and attacks your rolling pin. Okay, onward we go.
All right, you are you are chasing. All right, you guys swim to the other side, the eastern side of the lake, and you come to a point where you reach the shore. Go ahead and roll survival for me. Whoever's got point right now, along with Gorguts, since you have the light spell.
I feel like I started swimming first, so
Cool.
So I have to roll survival as well.
Or rather, I guess you're assisting. So Luke, roll with advantage.
do you want me to
Please
roll
roll
again?
a
Yeah, go
25.
ahead, roll one more time. See if you can hit that nat 20. Okay.
Oh,
24. Okay. Well, I think it takes you less than an hour to like find an outcropping of rocks that then you find a spot that's big enough for like a large person to fit through. And that's where you're seeing like there's definitely like a chamber down in there.
Okay. Oh, since light is just a cantrip, we could have a whole bunch of little lights, which would probably be beneficial, especially when we get into a enclosed area and just be like, we
Just
throw all these light rocks around.
just bring forth what you want.
Minecraft
enchant.
glowstone.
Oh, I have a
Casting.
bag of ball bearings. Just keep on casting cantrip on all those ball bearings as long as you can until you get sick of doing it. No, that's awful.
I do that. I will cast the entire bag at
My
all bearings.
Gorguts, your endurance and patience is admirable.
I mean, I'm in a pretty good mood since I threw that guy.
It feels good to stretch the limbs every now and then.
Should I enchant everyone's bolts with lights too? Do you want me to do that too?
Well, we have the potential for as much as 1,000 lights out of a bag of ball bearings. I actually have 3 bags of them, depending on how much time we have and how much.
I will
Paper
enchant
work.
every ball bearing you bring forth.
How many ball bearings is that?
Each bag holds 1,000, and I have 3 bags of them. I have 3,000 ball bearings.
They now all emit light.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'll take one of those ball bearings and hold it 30 feet ahead of us.
Ah, nice.
We are now an anglerfish.
So if you want to enchant all of your ball bearings, it's going to take 5 hours.
Okay, so
I
maybe
will
not.
enchant as much as possible.
6 seconds per spell cast. 3,000 ball bearings. That's like 300 minutes. 6 hours. 5 hours.
Okay, how many will you let Gorgets enchant?
I mean, you have 24 hours of water breathing, so really, like, if you want to waste 5 of that.
Well,
Yeah,
question: He
it's
has
like
2 hands, so can he?
The problem is
Do
is
two
that
balls at
light
one time?
only lasts for 1 hour. So by the time that you you'll get part of the way through the bag, and then your spell will start ending on all the ones you originally started.
I mean, Gorguts won't be able to tell. He'll just pick it up. Oh, a new one.
Well, you got a lot of ball bearings.
24 hours later, we'll all drown.
I mean, technically, I could start blessing or cantripping the ball bearings as well. So
I'm sure we don't need anywhere near that many, so it is going to be hilarious when we're just like, bag of ball bearings.
okay. Naturally, when Asa presents a challenge, I want to try to overcome that challenge.
It's like, how can we overcome this challenge in the stupidest, best way we can find? All the ball bearings.
I mean, if I casted haste, that helped me enchant them faster.
That's probably more reasonable. 100. Small numbers. However many we have enchanted, we should continue down this small passageway through the rocks at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, so you like just looking down there, you can see it opens up, and there's a couple different. It's a pretty big cavern. That now is going underneath the shoreline, and it goes deep down in. You follow it in, and go ahead and roll survival with advantage again, Luke. Okay, with an 18, I think this one takes you about an hour before you like find this huge cavern, right? Like even searching as much as you can with your extra light, it still takes you about an hour before you find like the next opening to another very large cavern. And
during
deep from
that time
within.
while I'm searching, I'm gonna throw up that telepathic bond so that we can all actually talk while we're moving through the lake.
Okay. You hear another ping, even further away, and getting fainter.
I think in response to hearing that ping, Mira has a shield. Yeah, Mira has a shield. Asked Mira to bang her shield and mace, was it?
Yeah.
Mace together, like just a couple of times to give off some very clearly artificial noises, kind of in response to us hearing the sonar. And then, unless anyone else has any other ideas, I think
you're responding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Banging the shield drum.
Okay. Yeah, you bang the shield. It's extra loud, and you even manage to roll performance for me. Oh yeah, you actually managed to hit the shield at such an angle, and with like the water assisting you and everything, you actually managed to hit a pitch that is similar in tone. Pitch and tone are two different things. You get what I'm trying to say. To the the ping that's been coming at you. Okay, now swimming around a little bit more, you end up finding 3 separate openings. There's one to your left, one to your middle, and one to your right.
I will shield drum again and hope for a response so we can determine which way to go.
Roll that performance one more time for
It's
me. You hear it again. Go ahead and roll investigation. Okay, Mira with the best roll, and I think mostly because you're really into this, you're listening. You're unsure. You're pretty sure it's either the middle or the right, but you're unsure exactly as to which one.
Well, I believe we should start looking around the openings themselves for a bit of anything that might guide us. Maybe drop one of those light beads down through them and see.
Gorguts will use Mage Hand on one of the enchanted beads and flick it. You said there was a right tunnel? Guess I'll flick it down there.
As you send it down the right-hand side, it looks like it curls around a corner, so you lose track of it pretty quick. I think Tyrek, now kind of getting more on an understanding of what you're dealing with, you're starting to recognize how this sound works, and I'm trying to think of a good way to kind of explain this without hand waving it too much, but basically it disintegrated the tree stump, it broke your tent, but it didn't really damage you guys. I didn't make you guys take damage from that this time. And each subsequent ping has, despite the fact that it's lost a lot of its energy from being bounced around a lot, you're getting the impression that it's not really it's not damaging anything anymore. He's not pulverizing rocks. But you're Mira and Smokey. You guys both okay, hang on. I would like you guys both to roll a wisdom saving throw for me. I know that sounds scary. It's just because I'm kind of drawing a blank on how else to do this. Okay. Together, Smokey, you're you come up to it. Gorguts is sending beads through it. Who's using Mage Hand? Is that Luke?
I think Smokey was. Or, excuse me, Gorguts.
Okay, Gorguts was using Mage Hand. Okay. Gorguts is sending these lit ball bearings down the right-hand side, trying to look at things. Tyrek is inspecting it, and he's thinking. Smokey, you have this moment where you're just oh, it's the middle one. And Mira, as soon as he says that, you're yeah, that's right, it's the middle one. I don't know if you're saying that, but immediately, obviously, I don't want to speak for your characters. Is really what I want to get at. But Smokey, you have this moment. Let me just do it this way. Smokey, you have this moment where you're it's the center channel. Just instinctually, that's what comes to mind.
Is there anything that gives it away? Is it a gut feeling, or is it
I don't know how to describe it other than it truly does feel like you had this. There's it's like a light bulb went off in your head, and you looked at the 3, and you're just of course, it's the middle.
I think I would.
Oh.
I would just go into it.
Do you want me to send another ball bearing down it?
I think I would just go into it in the effort of hoping everyone goes, well, shit, and goes in after me.
And Mira, as soon as you see him going in there, you immediately understand what he's doing and why, and you know that it's the right thing.
I understand what's happening. I'm not sure if Tyrek does yet, but I do.
We all follow their example.
Yep.
Following the leader, the leader.
You hear another ping, and this one sounds it's weird to say, but it sounds a little bit like it's excited. And I think if anyone understands that sound, it's Tyrek.
Okay.
and you swim for a little while longer until you come to another set, left, middle, right.
Okay, Smokey, Mira, which way is he? I know you can feel him.
Are we? This is a stretch, Asa. Are we still technically in the forest?
We in the kelp forest, man.
Kelp forest, motherfucker!
All around.
Because I have this thing, Asa. This thing that could be helpful. That you know. If we want to, just saying, if it's technically a forest. I think there's something on there about tracking and basically just
click.
If we're in the forest.
Entire chat.
It doesn't say anything. Arctic coast. It's not coast. It's a lake technically. Desert, forest, grassland, mountain, swamp. It's a lake in the middle of a forest. So
it's not listed as an environment there. So.
You know. Where'd it go? It's on here somewhere.
Don't post
Okay,
natural
here's
Florida.
what I'll do for you, Smokey. And it's not because you're in the forest, but because these caverns do remind you of your time as a Sherpa in the Kankalin mountain range. So instead of doubling your proficiency bonus like it says, I will let you take half again, if that makes sense.
Oh, for the proficiency
like
bonus?
instead of doubling it, you just you
time and a half.
Yeah, basically.
So it'd be 2.5.
1.5. Roll plus, but with your proficiency, it'll be 1 point. So like, what's your proficiency right now?
Well, it's 5.
All right, so we'll round up. So go ahead and add 3.
So in this case, what would you like me to roll?
Investigation.
Investigation. Okay.
Okay. You're looking around and you look at these 3 paths again, and you're like looking real close, and the way that the echo from that last ping came to you, you're pretty sure, intellectually speaking, that it came from the middle one again. And the moment that thought crosses your mind, immediately you're like, yeah, it's definitely the middle one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go through the middle one.
Okay.
Good.
Once again, you hear it's fainter now than it was before, but you still hear it, and it does still seem excited. And you swim for a while, and you come to a point where you reach another set, left, right, middle, but then you look up and you realize that there is an actual... You've been swimming, I'll say you've been swimming for probably about 6 hours now.
Oof.
That sounds fucking exhausting.
Tough as nails.
And yeah, you look up and you see a pool of water that opens up to the air, and you can tell that because there is a slight bit of light coming from the top. So it looks like maybe morning light.
How high above us is that?
Let's say it's about 1,000 feet above you.
Yeah, we're pretty deep.
It's a good thing that you're made of tougher stuff than submarines.
Yeah.
I realized what I'm saying as soon as I said 1,000 feet. That's not right. But fuck it, it's a fantasy campaign.
It's not that deep.
I would gesture towards the air pocket to the rest of the group, like kind of wave with my eyebrows, like, should we investigate or should we just...
Yes, let us head towards the light at the end of the tunnel.
Think I'm swimming up there in plate?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're getting a workout today.
Are you guys all going to your surfacing?
Eric and Mira have to shed their plate armor to do that?
I'm not gonna make you. No.
It
would just be weird swim checks.
If we were in combat, your movement would be like, I think, quartered or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
Like, as long as they can make a 10, yeah. If there's no time constraints, you can get there eventually. And yeah, holy crap, that's a lot farther down than I thought.
Yeah, no kidding.
for free diving. Just hold my breath. Here we go.
At what point are you so far down that you have to like take breaks on your way up so you don't get the bends?
I'm not sure, but that guy went past it.
Yeah, you have to like hold at a certain level for like 5 minutes before you return. Yeah, you guys swim to the top of this. You swim to the top of this, whatever it is, the pool, and you realize, you guys all over here by Faranos on the map. You realize that you have surfaced, Tyrek, by your gauge of the direction you've been swimming, and your knowledge of the land. You put you right about there, and you're literally surfacing, on the cliffside. You can look up and you see the cliffs, but you are in the ocean at this point.
A handy shortcut if we ever wanted to go back to the jungle.
Just need water breathing.
Once we make some machines to assist our swimming ability, certainly. But that says some interesting things about this continent.
Yes, also we're a little tad far from the academy now.
That's okay. So I'm pretty sure the guy we really needed to talk to is right around here.
Do we want to continue delving deeper then, or are we at a different... or do we think we want to go in the wind one?
We get back on dry land? Or do we just want to stay just floating in the ocean?
Well, I'm going to talk... Communicating and talking with these guys is like why we're here, is trying to find... Dealing with the War Masters, and especially if this one actually is interested in potentially peaceful talk, we really need to find him.
We're pretty sure he's deeper down in the water, huh?
I don't know. My two wayfinders. Where is he? You've developed a good sense for this. Where is he at?
Let's see. As you guys surface, Mira, you feel that ping hit your feet as you're like popping up through the this pool, and immediately a sense of slight disappointment kind of washes over you.
Oh, how long has it been since we cast all of our spells and started everything up?
Should we recast the water breathing?
It's been about, at this point, we'll say 7 hours, 8 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
Everybody, go ahead and roll athletics for me, please. Okay.
Athletes aren't built for water.
Gorguts and Smokey, please roll a Constitution save for me. Okay, Smokey, you're going to take a level of exhaustion from this swim. Gorguts, you're definitely starting to feel tired from the swimming.
Don't worry, Smokey. We're technically in the forest.
Smokey looks at the map and goes, "Fuck!" So I'm like, you guys want to keep swimming? I'm good.
It's okay. You can rest for a bit.
Just smoke more.
I'm just gonna float here for a little bit.
I'm gonna pull out some cords and here, just tie you onto my backpack.
You know, regularly that's insulting, but I don't care.
It's okay. I understand you're tired.
Alright, so yeah, I'll do I need to roll to piggyback, or can I just...
You can just piggyback.
Alright.
Luke, I want you to roll a... Sorry, let me look at the skills. I want you to roll an insight while you're kind of looking at Mira and Smokey as they've been kind of leading you guys through this. And with a 16... With the 16, you can kind of you're kind of getting this impression that that they have this they're like they've got you guys all the way out into the ocean right now, which is a pretty impressive feat. And And something about the way that they're following this, like you're kind of like thinking back and connecting these dots, and you're thinking about the fact that each of them has landed the killing blow on one of the other two War Masters.
And that's for Tyrick and Smokey.
Mira and Smokey.
Mira and Smokey.
What do you guys want to do at this? Smokey's a backpack. I can be your backpack while you swim.
Just pointing.
The way things have been going.
Hey guys, do you maybe think maybe we don't want to be following these guys out here in the middle of a place that we're not as capable of defending ourselves if need be?
So honestly, at this point, I feel like even if we do want to follow this Warforged, we're not going to catch up at this rate.
Does it sound like it's even farther away again still, or is it like we're kind of getting closer now?
Yeah, I would say, okay, there's a few things, Tyrick, and I think, like, honestly, there's no role needed for any of this. Like, I kind of, like, I don't want to speak for your character, but there's a part of me that's looking at this, and I'm a little bit confused. I know Tyrick chases conflict, like, that's his thing. You are following something that both assaulted you and is a known enemy, and you are following it in its home territory, in the path that it's leading you in. And I don't know if maybe Tyrick just got excited and is like just really wants to make this happen and maybe let his judgment slip a little bit, but you're sitting here like kind of realizing like you could very well be walking into a trap.
Yeah.
With how this thing is going. The way that thing, it came and blew apart your tent, and then immediately it was so far away that you know that it has an incredible swim speed. That you wouldn't be able to match unless you had like some kind of like a underwater motorcycle, if you would. It is very fast, and it is playing with you.
Well, it's about time probably for us to stop chasing this thing. If he doesn't want to talk with us.
Are we just gonna walk back to the road?
Well, I would say we very much should rest when we go back up to the surface.
At this point, we have a decision to make, because we're not going to catch up to this Warforged, and it's the whole reason we came here. So, do we want to go back to Cloudhenge?
I feel like we've made too many. We went here, nothing happened, we immediately turned around and went back trips. We do also know that Helm is likely out in the Jagoda Sea, which this might be Helm. So what I'm going to suggest to the others is that we surface and set up and rest near but not in Windwan, because regardless of what else we're doing, we need a break, we need to rest.
Another bubble in the water.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably not this time. Maybe we dig underground. Or, set up on the surface like people who aren't insane. And then once we do get set up and resting, if that's what the others agree to, that I will try to get in contact with that person Warforged through the dream spell. Even if it's just to be like, we're not gonna play that game anymore. If you want to actually talk, you know where to find us.
Is Windwan a relatively... is it like a moderately sized town, or...?
They're basically small towns that were built around way stops.
How far do you think we are out from getting there?
I'd say at a good march, you're probably like another 2 hours from there once you get up on top of cliffs anyway?
I guess we could scout out the shore. I mean, the map, it doesn't look very charming, but we could see if the shore seems safe enough if you guys just want to make land and build camp if we don't want to march for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sounds like as good an idea as any.
You guys have to do it, though, because I'm in backpack mode, so...
Backpack mode.
Hey, so where were those mages that were supposedly disappearing?
That was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was somewhere within like this stretch between like Wind One, and if you had gone a little bit further to the what is now no longer there, the city of Talandri.
Then, as I recall, Ironclaw's up here somewhere.
That's correct.
I think he was tracking Helm, right?
Yes.
Or
He was
attempting to relocate Helm.
Yes.
So we might want to try to get a hold of him if we can and see if he has any information once we're done camping for the next night.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably the easiest way to contact Ironclaw would be by way of Jackal.
Yeah. You guys make camp. You all go to sleep for the night. Tyrek, you are more exhausted than you have been in a while. And I know Tyrek doesn't sleep, but if you will allow me this moment,
Of course.
you don't necessarily fall asleep, but you sit down to continue your work, and something nags at you about the basalt coated Warforged brain that you have in your box. And you take that out and you're looking at it and you're going over these these runes that you've etched onto it. And you have this fleeting moment where you feel like you are seeing from a million different perspectives all at the same time.
Okay.
And that's a really big feeling to try to like just throw out there at random. But it's like in the same way that when you're explaining how like you get okay, let's see. In real life, if someone says something that like upsets you or something like that, and you have like 100 different thoughts and feelings and complex interactions between those things that all work in tandem together, that once you sit back and you pick it apart, you can explain, well, I felt angry because of this. I was partially excited because of this. I was sad because this made me think of that, which then made me get a different kind of sad. It was a wistful sad. You know what I'm talking about? How you can kind of pick apart like a split second, because there's just so much complex interactions that happen in the human mind. That's kind of like what happens in this moment, where you're just like, you have this flash of vision. And when you sit back later through the evening to pick it apart, you end up spending a lot more of your time mulling this over and picking this thought apart than you do working on your work this night. And that's essentially what it is. You start to recognize, oh, I saw a beach, I saw a mountain, I saw the inside of a home, I saw a wood stack, I saw, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was day, it was night, it was evening time, there was a fire, I was covered in rubble, all these different things. And one that you can't quite make heads or tails of is it's not a place that you've ever been to or recognize as being part of this plane. Luke, you have some trouble falling asleep this day. I don't even want to say tonight, because it's like literally you're going into the daytime at this point, and you have some trouble falling asleep despite how like tired you are. Not obviously, you don't have levels of exhaustion, but you are very tired. You've been swimming for like 8 hours straight. It has not been necessarily an easy time. And at some point you roll over and you notice. Tyrek make a sleight of hand check and Luke make a investigation check, I guess. I think we can chalk this up to Tyrek just being a little preoccupied, and maybe I don't want to speak for Tyrek, but however that kind of works. Luke, you roll over at one point, kind of restless, and you look up and you see Tyrek pull this small stone out. I want to say you've probably seen it before, maybe when he was starting up that ritual for Pauldron. So you know that encompasses Gauntlet's brain, and he begins to touch it, and
I make a habit of not watching people with their stones.
Okay, you see Tyrek looking at this stone, and he has this moment where he, like, I don't know, it's not that he touches it necessarily, it's not what he's doing with it, but something happens and you see him experience something, and then at the same time you are immediately, like, taken back to this moment when you had, like, just laid hands on Mira and brought her soul back to her body, and she stood up and nodded at you and went on to basically vaporize Pauldron's mages and kill him. And in that moment, something passed into her, and because your like magical touch was still like lingering about her, some of that flowed into you as well, and like you're only just now like kind of realizing this. It wasn't something you thought about. It wasn't even something you had noticed until there's been just a lot of this has been a weird day, right? And so you're like, because you can't sleep, you're trying to take stock, I guess, you know. Again, I feel like I'm speaking for your characters a lot here, so please correct me. But you have this moment where you have a series of very complex emotions, and one of them is very strongly rooted in sorrow. And you don't know why you suddenly felt like this. It sort of came out of nowhere, but like you're starting to recognize that maybe that emotion wasn't like yours. And then you have then you fall asleep and you have a dream about a large swath of water and a stone face in the water, and the right eye of the stone face is twinkling, sparkling. And that's where we will end for tonight. Texter says,
Fun. Yeah. Things are all coming together.
I did very much enjoy that moment of